वक्रतुंड महाकाय कोटिसूर्य समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। Last time we looked at mayat pratyaya, and mayat has two primary meanings from our perspective. One is prachuryam and one is vikara. So both meanings you will see in the Shastra. So we have to see in the context whether it will be prachuryarthe mayat or vikararthe mayat. Okay. So generally Taittiriya Upanishad you will find predominantly it will all be vikararthe mayat. Brihadaranyaka you will typically find it prachuryarthe mayat. But elsewhere it could be different. We just have to be open to that idea. Okay. And prior to that, we had seen these prag iviya pratyaya, prag diviti pratyaya, which is all the tatra, atra, tada, yada, kada, katham. And I have been showing you how many times we see in the Bhashyam. No, it's all over the place. So it's good to know the meanings. We don't have to remember pratyaya sutras. Remember the meanings and we are in good shape. Okay. So now we will look at a few more pratyayas. So there is one whole bunch of pratyayas which come in the meaning of directions. These are also swartha pratyayas. Let's look and see. Are you seeing the screen now? Yeah, good. Now go. Okay. So we saw this earlier. Prag Disho Vibhakti. This section we saw till this, till this. Till this we saw. We called them Prag Dishiyaha, right? Prag Dishiya Prakaranam. Now we will go to the next one. Digadyarthakaha. Okay. So this section is all about directional words. Only directional words. Dikshep shabdebhyah saptami panchami prathamabhyah dik desha kaleshu astati. Dik shabdebhyah. Dik means direction. Pratipadika is dish. Dish will become dik, dishau, disha. So dik means directional words. Dik shabdebhyah, after directional words, saptami, panchami, prathamabhyah. In three vibhakti meanings. Panchami, saptami, and prathama vibhakti. In these three meanings, what pratyaya do you get in terms of dik, desha, and kala? In all these three meanings, astatihi pratyaya bhavati. Okay, we'll look at it. We'll look at the sutra in a minute. Then you can see, but this astati, instead of that, you will get atasuch up to 29. So dakshina uttara, the word dakshina uttara will get pratyaya called atasuch. Right? So then you will find there is some other pratyaya called aj. There's a pratyaya called ahi. So in this way, we have a bunch of pratyayas. And all these pratyayas will give you words which have directional meanings, typically in the meaning of seventh case, fifth case, or first case. Okay. Good examples for these are our Ganapati Atharva Shirsha. One stotra, if you know, you will find a lot of the words coming there. Okay, so let's go and look at this 5327 to start with. So 5327, Dikshabdebhyah Saptami Panchami Prathamabhyah Dik Desha Kaleshu. You can see the Sandhi here. Dik Desha Kaleshu Astati. What's the meaning? Dik Dishavachakaha. Dik means Dishavachakaha. Those words which tell you direction. Yada, when they're in the meaning of what? Disha, Sthana, Uta Kala. See, because if I say, what were you doing now? Kim Karoshi, what are you doing now? Ataha Purvam, what were you doing? Ataha Paschat, what were you doing? Purvam. Now, Purva, the word, can mean before. Purva can mean east. Purva can mean in front. These all meanings are there for Purva. Similarly, Uttara. Uttara can mean north. Uttara can mean after. Correct? So I'll say, Uttarasyam Kale. So Kala can be there. Desha can be there. Dik can be there. Uttara can be in direction, just north. Okay? So in all these meanings, it is possible to get these words, dik shabdas. So here example. What is the example now? Purva. So he says, Purva iti dishavachakaha, eastern direction. Okay? So if you look at desha artha, it will be what? Purvaha deshaha. A country or a location which is from the east. Purvaha deshaha. Okay? If you take kala meaning, Purvaha kalaha means past. All right? So you can see dishavachakaha shabdaha, then deshaha asmin arthe, and then kalaha asmin arthe. So gataha kalaha. Etayoho anyayoho arthayoho bhashayam prajyate. So now, atah eteshu trishu api artheshu, in all these three meanings, vartamana sutrena purva shabdat astati pratyaya bhavati. So what are the possibilities now? Seventh case, purvasyam dishi. In the general eastern direction, purvasmin deshe. In this location which is to the east. First one is general direction alone. Now, location which is in the east. And then purvasmin kale. These are examples of what? Saptami artha. All seventh case. Purvasyam, purvasmin. They're all saptami. Then panchami. Purvasyaha dishaha. Purvasmat deshat. Purvasmat kalat. So now what? From the eastern direction. From place which is in the eastern direction. Purvasmat kalat. From earlier. This problem is not today. From earlier, this problem has been there. That kind of thing. Purvasmat kalat. Right? Then just prathama vibhakti. Purva dik. Because this shabda is trilinga. Therefore, purva dik. Purvaha deshaha. Purvaha kalaha. Means what? Eastern direction. A location which is to the east. And a time which is in the past. In all these meanings, what will you get? One pratyaya called astati. You get a pratyaya called astati. What happens when you add a taddhita pratyaya? Whatever sup pratyaya is there, you have first to drop it. You remove it. You have to remove. So what will happen in all of them? You'll get just purva. Is that clear? When you add a taddhita pratyaya, you have to remove even samasas. When you add, you have to first drop the vibhakti pratyayas. When you drop, what do you get? Purva plus astat. Okay? What will you get? Then there's some change which happens. Don't worry too much about it, because if I start making you learn all sutras, you will retain nothing. So what will happen? Purva becomes pura. So what will you get? Purastat. So what does purastat mean now? That should be clear. Purastat can mean first case meaning, fifth case meaning, or seventh case meaning. Therefore, all these meanings which you saw here could be purastat dishi, purastat deshe, purastat. So in all the meanings, purastat will give you the whole meaning. Purastat will give you this whole meaning. Purastat will give you this whole meaning. Get it? So one word replaces all these meanings. So you get purastat. Okay. For example, what? Avapurastaat. The Ganapati Athavara Shirsha. Avapashchattaat. Avapurastaat. Avottarattaat. Do you remember this somewhere? Those are coming from where? Avapurastat means what? From the eastern direction, you protect me. He lives in the east or lived before. In all those cases, we'll get purastat vasati purasmin kale. Then this is ayam purastat, ayam purvah deshaha. It is on the east. Prathama. So first meaning is panchami artha. Second is saptami artha. Third meaning is prathama artha. So in all those cases, what do you get? Word is purastat. Avyaya. No need to decline any further after that. All right. Similarly, you take adhara. See, any dik shabda vachaka shabdas. Adhara means down. Right? Adharasyam dishi, adharasmin deshe, adharasmin kale. So now, adharaha means what? So you have to know that again it means after in time perspective. Like uttara, adhara. No? Paschima, later again. So these meanings are there. Dikvachaka shabdas have time, and space, both meanings. Direction. So he gives an example. What is this now? So adhastaat, that also word you'll see there. Ava adhastaat, ava uttarattaat, in all directions. Right? Then avarasmin. Avara is another word, avara. So that word also can have all these. So like this, you will get all the words here can take these various meanings. So Kashikakara will simply give you examples. What? Purastat, he takes purastat, vasati, purastat, agataha, purastat, ramaniyam. So you can see, this one is saptamirtha because vasa means seventh case. Purastat, agataha, came from somewhere, panchamirtha. And purastat, ramaniyam means it is beautiful. What? The east is beautiful. Eastern location is beautiful. Or the earlier time was beautiful. Purastat ramaniya. Similarly, adhastat, down. From below. Or what is below is beautiful. Ramaniya. So then this is the first sutra we have seen here. Is this clear? Any question at this point? Okay. So then if you go to the next sutra, same idea, except what? For the word dakshina and uttara, instead of astati pratyaya, you get a pratyaya called atasuch. Atasuch. So what will happen? Chakara will go, ukara will go, you get atas. You will get atas. Atas means ataha. So what will happen then when you add the pratyaya? You will get, so dakshinasyam, dishi, etc. When you add, you will get dakshinataha, uttarataha. Because these are for two words. Dakshina, uttarabhyam. Dakshinataha, uttarataha. What does it mean? Fifth case, seventh case, first case. All three meanings. With respect to southern direction or northern direction, southern doesn't have a time implication, but northern has an implication of later. So where it doesn't apply, you can't use it. So that we have to keep in mind. So here, I'm sure Kashikakara must be saying that. So he says here, see, Dakshina Uttarabhyam, दिग्देश कालेषु वर्तमानाभ्याम सप्तमी पंचमी प्रथमांताभ्याम स्वार्थे अतसुच प्रत्यय भवति. And what is it? Astatehe apavadaha. It is an apavada to the astate pratyaya with reference to the word uttara and dakshina. Okay? These are all bhashayam. Veda there can be exceptions. Okay? Dakshina shabdah kalena sambhavati. Therefore, you cannot use it for kala. It will only for desha. Whereas uttara will apply for both. Okay? Is that clear? So what's the word you get here? You have to just remember the word uttarataha, uttarataha, dakshinataha. It looks like tasil, but here it is this atasuch pratyaya in those three meanings: prathama, saptami, and panchami. So basically, if you want to say, hey, he came from the south, what will you say? You can say dakshinat agataha. This is your normal language. If you use the tadil pratyaya, what will you say? Dakshinataha agataha. Or he went, he lives, same way. Dakshine vasati or dakshinataha, like that. Okay. So those are the pratyas here. Then what? Vibhasha para avarabhyam. So he is giving para and avara will take either at the switch or it will take astati. So you already saw parastat, right? Now what you will get? Parataha. Parataha again will mean after. Right? So that meaning will come. So what exactly is avara? Let's look it up. I'm not 100% sure what avara exactly means. What are the meanings for avara? So when we don't know, best to just look it up. Because avara has a meaning of not the best. If you remember our Upanishad, we saw what? Para avara. Paravara. So this cannot be that avara. Here it's Dikdesha Kala. So what will it be? So we have to see what is avara. So what is avara then? Avaraha is, let's go down further. So you can see younger in years, so earlier in time. Okay. Oh, I went back. And then later, posterior, hinder, following, succeeding, below, inferior. That inferior meaning is what we saw in the Upanishad. Para and avara. But here the meaning is only in time of desha and kala. So this unimportant, worst, these are another meaning. But avara here will be in terms of later. Right? And it could also be earlier, younger, you see, But I have seen more of this later. Avarasmin kale. Okay? So those are the meanings given here. All right. This is about para and avara. So parataha. So tasmat parataha kinchit nasti. There we don't take desha and kala meaning. Nothing better than that. So we don't take desha kala all the time. Aksharat parataf paraha. That parataha is not in desha kala meaning. It is in the meaning of that which is more exalted, that which is the cause of it. Aksharat parataha means that which is in the cause of akshara. Mayayaha api karanam. So therefore, we should be cautious when I say parataha. Normally, I have not seen parataha, varataha usually as being used in terms of kala. Can be sometimes. But in our Shastra, pay attention which meaning it's coming. Because parataha is more likely to come in the meaning of karan. Okay. Anche, look. So there's one dhatu called anchu. It's a dhatu whose Svanta words are a little hard to remember and decline. Okay. because you get a lot of words there. And what are the words you get there? That is good for us to know. Parak. You remember that? You remember this prach, prachi, prach, pratyach. Pratyach will give you pratyagatma. Udach, north. Prach means east. Pratyach means west. Pratyach also means inner. Pratyang. So these meanings also come. Pratichi, udichi. These are meanings which are coming from pratyayas, upasargas added to anch dhatu. This anchu dhatu will give you a lot of these words. The anchu katau iti bhuadiganasya kashchana dhatu. यदि अयं धातुः उपपदेन सह प्रयुज्यते तर्हि अस्मात् धातोः संसूत्र इत्यनेन क्विन् प्रत्ययः कृत्वा भिन्नाः दिक्शब्दवाचकाः सिद्ध्यन्ति. So you have to add quin to get dikshabdavach pratyaya. So what will you get? Pra plus anchu plus quin will give you prach, purvaha. Prati plus anch will give you pratyach, paschimaha. Uda plus anch will give you udach, uttaraha. All right. And this will become what? Pratichi. Right? Prachi, udichi. That will come in the feminine cases. Okay. And pratichi means paschimadik. So these words, again, we are not interested in remembering all the pratyayas here, but you should be able to see the fact that prachi means east, pratichi means west, pratyang can mean inner. These meanings should be kept in view. If that much you do, we are good enough with these, because to know all these and how they're declined is not something which will make us much more knowledgeable. You will only know how the word is derived. But understand that anchu dhatu, with that these words are formed. Okay. So if you go and look in our dictionary, so suppose you are looking for what is pratyak. See what I came here? Paschimadhik, prachinam, pragbhavam. So a lot of meanings are there. And it becomes pratyanch in compounds. Okay. So those are the meanings. So pratyak, it could also show up as pratyak probably. See? Paschima dik desha kalaha. So if you look in this meaning, look here. Now it will show you what. Sorry. In the opposite direction, that's also a meaning. Okay, to the west. You see this? In the interior, inwardly. That's the meaning when we use it for pratyagatma, not it's in the west or something. Going out is one direction. Opposite to it is inward. That's why the inward meaning also comes. Okay. So pratyagatma means the innermost, that which cannot be externalized, comes from this pratyanch. Okay. But when you made a pratipadika, it will decline. It's not just going to sit as pratyanch. Okay. So these are the meanings. You can see backwards in the opposite direction, westward, inward, within, in former times, kala-wise. Okay. These are some words you again keep in view. Then, upari, uparishtat. So what is it saying now? These are just nipatanam. Upari and uparishtat. What does it mean? In the fifth and seventh case, upari is upper. Okay, very nice. It's cognates. Up, upar. English, Sanskrit looks similar. Okay, up, and upari. In fact, if you pronounce up as up, you will get up and upari. No trouble. Okay, so upari means above. Upari can mean later also, after. So upari and uparishtat. So now this is not astati. What pratyaya? No pratyaya role. This is how the word will be. Nipatanam. It's called nipatanam. This is how the word falls in place. So it's an avyaya. Upari, uparishtat. What does it mean? It has to mean northern or later or the northern direction. All three meanings will come. Okay. So he says urdhvadik above also. No, upari above. Urdhvadik, urdhvayah dishah, urdhvayam dishi, urdhva deshah, urdhva deshat, urdhve deshe. So basically, urdhva has become upara. That's the nipatana. Okay. So what should you remember? Upari means urdhvam. In these three cases again. Upari, uparishtat ityetau shabdau nipatyete astatehe arthe. Astatehe arthe means what? Same meaning astati pratyaya. Which are they? Prathama, Panchami and Saptami Vibhakti. Okay. So now, see, Kashikakara supplies. What may the pratyaya be for this word to come? Re. Upa, re, one pratyaya. Like that, you have to create a pratyaya. Okay, imagine something, but we don't need it. Urdhvayam dishi vasati, upari vasati. Uparyagataha, upari ramaniyam. He's giving all examples for the three cases. Okay. So upari and uparishtat, same meaning. Another word now, paschat. Again, nipatanam. What do you get? One more word, paschat. What is paschat? Paschat means after, again, in terms of time. So, aparaha, urdhvaha, aparaha. So, apara plus at becomes what? Paschat. So, you can see, what does it mean? Now, he is adding some more things which we are not interested in. So, Vartika. So, पूर्व शब्द से अपर से पश्च भाव वक्तव्य. So it's telling you that it becomes paschat. The word is all that we care for here. Paschat is one more word you'll get. And he seems to be taking it for, some in between directions also. Dakshina aparasyaha dishaha, etc. Which we don't need to worry about at this point. So this is uparishtat, paschat. Then what? Two more words. Pascha in Veda. Don't worry about it. Ignore it. Uttara adhara dakshinat atihi. This will almost look like Panchami. You can see. So, Uttara, Adhara and Dakshina. These words will take the meanings of what? What pratyaya? Ati. What will it become? At. So, what word will you get? What word will you get? Uttarat. But now Uttarat is not only Panchami, it also has Prathama and Saptami meaning. That's the extra. Okay. Uttarat, similarly, Adharat, similarly, Dakshinat. Meaning is what? All three cases. First case, fifth case, and seventh case. Then he says, Enap anyatarasyam adure apanchamyaha. Enap. What will happen if you put enap? Pakara will go. Ena will come. So what word will you get? Uttarena, Dakshinena, Adharena. These are the words you will get. In what meanings? Apanchamyaha and adure. It should not be far away. And not in the fifth case meaning. Who is going to remember all this? Don't worry. What you need to know is Dakshinena, Uttarena, Aparena. All these meanings can also come in. For now, you understand this 1, 5, and 7. 5 is not there. It's another detail you have to keep in mind. In the context, you will see what's going on. See, the point is this. Earlier we saw uttarat. Now uttarena. Looks like third case. But a third case word can have a meaning of seventh case or fifth case also. A word look like fifth case can have meaning of first, fifth, and seventh also. This is the extra you have to just keep in your head. Just lightly, not very essential, okay? Don't see these words all that commonly. That is the ena pratyaya. Then he has one more pratyaya, ach. Ach pratyaya means what will become? Dakshina will become dakshina. That's it. Dakshinad ach. So the pratyaya will become, you just get the word dakshina. So dakshina doesn't now mean that gift given. Dakshina means fifth case, first case, seventh case of dakshina. So all the meanings, all three meanings will come for this also. Ahicha dure. So now he is saying with the word dakshina, you can also have dakshinahi. Dakshinena was close. Dakshinahi will be far now. Southern and far. Uttaracha. So he is saying, even with the word uttara, uttara shabdaha, when it's far, you can again get the pratyaya ahi. So uttarahi, dakshinahi. I've never seen these words, okay? Just showing you these words because they're all in one section, you can quickly see. So one more, asip pratyaya is coming. So what do you get then? What words do you get here? So you get puraha, puras, adharaha. Look like first case words, but has meaning of first, fifth, and seventh. So these dishavachi shabdas are all like this, astaticha, etc. We don't have to look at every one of them. Is this making some sense? They are just words, okay? When we are looking at taddhita, I'm just showing you what words come. We don't have to remember taddhita also. Just remember the words. Dakshinena, dakshinahi, dakshinat. How many will you see normally? Not too many. But you will see adhastat, purastat. You will see. These words you will see in the Bhasham now and then. So when you get a dictionary, a directional word like this, check if it doesn't fit. Maybe it's a different case. 157. 157 you keep in mind. Okay. Then we go back to so then you have Sankhya Sankhyayaha vidharthe dha. One pratyaya called dha. In what sense? So you look at the example, it will become clear. Ekena prakarena ekadha dvayoho prakarayoho dvidha tribihi prakare. All tritiyartha. Tridha, Chaturdha, Panchadha, Ashtadha, Navadha. You can keep adding. Then you take with the word Bahu, Bahudha. Katidha means what? In how many ways? Kim, Kati. Katidha, in how many ways? So like that, you have a lot of words to say in so many ways. It can be done. So Dvidha Vibhajya, Panchadha Kritya, having made it fivefold, etc. That fold meaning, twofold, threefold, fourfold, that kind of words are with this dha pratyaya. Ekadha, bahudha, anekadha, and with all numbers. Okay? Vidharthe means what? In that manner. Dvayoho prakarayoho. Not interested. Okay, let me not get to each one of them. I will find the right pratyas. We'll look at them. Give me a second, okay? Okay, we already saw these here so far. Kutsite alpe. We'll look at 5374. Kutsite. See, 5354 is all Swartha Pratyayas, which means there is no Lakshana Vakya. So Kutsiti Artha means what now? Kutsitaha ityasya visheshana rupena vihitat pratipadikaat tingantat cha swarthe ka pratyayah tasya apavadaha va vidhiyate. So in the meaning of something which is nindita, put down, what do you get? Kutsitaha means what? Ninditaha. He's giving words in English: bad, spoiled, inappropriate, etc. In those meanings, what do you get? Pratyaka. So what will Ashvaka mean now? A poor horse, not a good horse, not a good, well-running horse. Okay? Kutsita Gardhabaha, a bad donkey, doesn't carry the load. Kutsita Ushtraha. Examples are like that, okay? So then what? Inappropriate height. Kutsita Uchchaihi. Inappropriate slow speed. Kutsita Shanaihi. So what will become? Shanakaihi. Uchchakaihi. You're declining after you add the ka. So here also it will become what? Gardhavakaha, Gardhavakena, Ushtrakena. Not avyaya. Just add a pratyaya, get a new pratipadika. Okay. So then this is interesting is what? This, it can also be used for a verb. Kutsitam pachati. He cooks something which is not appropriate. It becomes pachataka. Pachati normally, pachataki. I've never seen this in our Shastra, okay? But just an interesting situation where taddhita is applied to Tingant Shabda also. Okay. So in those meanings, you get all these. Jalpataki, pachataki means he blabbers. Jalpataki, he is blabbering. That's what it means. Tinganta. But taddhita pratyaya. Okay. So then if we even go back one, ajnate, so ajnatam also has that meaning. If a horse whose owner is not known, you'll get the word ashvakaha, ajnata, swami yasya. So this taddhita, this is why I say, taddhita words are too broad. You don't know what exact meaning unless you look at the context. So this is just showing you how an unknown thing also gets ka pratyaya. And nindita also gets ka pratyaya. So how high, how tall is this building? Unknown height. Uchchakai. Okay. So this kind of words, what do you cook? I don't know what I'm cooking. Unknown cooking. That will be what? He says that is also ajnatam pachati pachataki. Same word. So if you see pachataki, does it mean he is cooking something inappropriate or is cooking something unknown? Unknown is nice. New recipe is coming up perhaps. So it's hard to say what meaning exactly it means. So then, no, let's leave it out. Let me not go there. Give me further 1 minute. Alpe. So 5385 is the meaning of alpa. What does it say? Alpe. And what pratyaya do you get? Again, the same kaha. So alpam tailam tailakam. Alpam kshiram kshirakam. Anything which is small quantity, you can add a ka pratyaya. So in that meaning also, he cooks less. That is also called pachataki. So you can see same ka has so many meanings. Because if you look in the Ashtadhyayi, you will find from 5370, from 5370 to 5395 is this kaha. Therefore, in all these meanings, you will get kaha pratyaya up to 95. Sometimes an extra pratyaya may also be there. So you saw with alpe, hrasve, etc. Okay. Just running through them because there's not a whole lot to be known there. Then we saw mayat already. Okay. We'll go to 5427. So you can see here, just give me 1 second, okay? 531082 5395 okay. All right. So now if we look at 5427, what does it say? Devatal. I'm picking words so you know what it means, okay? Swarthe. Devat tal pratyaya. Deva plus tal, what will you get? Devat. Add Stri pratyaya, top will get Devata. So Deva and Devata have the same meaning, Swartha pratyaya, no difference. But one is feminine, one is masculine. That is why, and it's Nitya Strilinga. Therefore, to say what? Ganapatir Devata. Even though Ganapati is masculine, you still call him Devata because it's the only gender is Devata is feminine only. That was 5427. Then, if you look at 54, see, a lot of these, you can go and look at each of them, what all you will get there. Mridistakan. What will you get? Mrittika. Mrittika ityeva satyam. What is Mrittika? Mrideva. You'll probably see Bhashyakara saying Mrittika, Mrideva, very likely. How do you know that? Because he knows the sutra. Mridihi takan pratyaha swarthe. Okay. So these are words which we are familiar with. Nothing more than that. Otherwise, we can go and start looking at every one of these words, you know. So they will all give you some words. So if I go to 5427, let us say now in here, 5427, Deva Tal that we saw. So you'll get the word Devata. If I go to the next word, what is it? Avekaha. What does it say? Avi, Ratnam will take pratyaya. So avikaha means a diamond. So like this, if you keep adding, you'll keep getting one or more words which you understand the meanings of. Nothing more you'll get here. Okay. So lohitat, manau, kan. So lohita, a red stone, will take the ka pratyaya. So you'll get what? Lohitaha, lohitamanehe, swarte kan pratyaya. So lohitakaha, manihi. So whether you say lohitaha mani or lohitakaha mani has same meaning. This ka is a very big pratyaya. It can be added to any word. Swarte. And it has to be added in certain bahuri compounds. It has to be added. That will help you if you're bahurihi or karmadharaya will help you. It's bahurihi. Kan will be there. Okay. Then now we will enter another pratyaya 5450. This is a pratyaya called Shvi. Okay. What is the meaning here? Abhuta tadbhave. I have mentioned this before. Abhuta tadbhave. So, abhuta purvasya. What was not there before? Abhuta purvasya vikarasya sampadanam. Means it gains what was not there. Kriyate chet. Then vikaravachi shabdat. only with three dhatus, kr, bhu, tatha as. Etesham yoge swarte chvi pratyaya bhavati. What does it mean? Let us look at an example, okay? So he says now, he gives a lot of stories. We don't have to worry about it. There is something which is white. Okay, it was not white, but it is either became white or it is made white. Something which was not white either becomes white, karoti, or is made white. Sorry, made is karoti, becomes is what? Bhavati, asti. But there's a change which happened. What was not white became white. What was not white was made white. So how will that be said? The way it is said is, ashuklaha iti ghatasya mula prakritihi. Basically, the pot is not white or not clean. Then what? Shuklaha iti tasya vikaraha. Transformation is clean or white. Okay? Ashuklaha ghataha shuklaha bhavati. You want to say, what was not clean or white at pot has become white. So then what do you say? In that sense, the meaning is abhuta tadbhavaha, having not been, becoming that. Having not been, becoming that. Abhuta tadbhave. What is bhava? Shukla varnasya bhava, becoming white. Ghate abhutaha means when in the beginning it was not white. Then you can add this pratyaya called shvi. Okay. So, or you make it white. So in that, what happens now? You get this situation. Ashuklaha shuklaha sampadyate. Devartaha tam karoti. So then what will you get? Shukli karoti. Okay. Ashuklaha ghataha shuklaha sampadyate. Sampadyamana bhavati. Shukli bhavati. Shukli syat. Okay. Either you can have two words, in which case it's an avyaya, or sometimes you can make a compound. Shukli kritaha. One thing you keep here in mind without sutras is when you have this chvi pratyaya, chakara is it. Okay? Chutu. E is it. Anunasika. Why is the only thing remaining? When vakara is the only thing remaining, it goes. Okay? There is a rule which makes it go. Lopo vyor vali also will come. But here, this is, sorry, that's not the sutra. Here it is, aprikta al. The apriktaha will go away. He will give you all those. See, apriktaha, ekal pratyaya. Apriktaha means a pratyaya which has only one letter. Ekal, one letter. And when you have one letter, and that one letter happens to be vakara, then it will be dropped. Okay. There's a pratyaya. You drop its letters. One pratyaya, one letter remains. What is the one letter remains? Vakara remains. If the only letter that remains in the pratyaya is vakara, then that vakara will also go. Okay. That rule is called apriktaha. This is sangya. Apriktaha ekal pratyayaha. What does it mean? A pratyaya, what is al? Any letter is al. A pratyaya that has only one al, one letter, is called apriktaha. Okay, that's the Sangya Sutra. Then asya aprikta vakarasya. If this one al happens to be vakara, then vehe apriktasya iti anera lopaha bhavati. It gets dropped. Why you have to know this? Not for this tree. I want you to know it in terms of quip pratyaya. There's a pratyaya called quip, which you would have heard or read when we saw Kathopanishad or any Upanishad. The word Upanishad comes with Upa, Ni, Shadl, quip. That quip pratyaya. Quip means kakara, is it? Correct? Kakara, is it? Then vakara, it remains. E is it by the anunasika it, ach. And pakara is by halantyam. Correct? How is kakara it? Lashakva taddhite. Quip is a atadhita pratyaya. It's a krit pratyaya. Therefore, kakara also goes. So what remains now? Vakara. Only vakara remains. That vakara is the only al surviving in the pratyaya. Therefore, the pratyaya gets a sanya. What? Apriktaha. Ekal pratyaya apriktaha. Okay. And then one more rule says what? Vehe apriktasya lopaha. A vakara, which is aprakta, will go away. So what will happen to quip? Zero. There is no pratyaya. Nothing happens. It does some work. What is the work? It creates a pratipadika. Upa, ni, shadalr plus quip will give you a karta, a doer of what? Upa, ni, shadalr. Upa, samipena, nishchayena, ni. What does it do? Shithili karoti. Anartha vratan shithili karoti. Then what? Brahma gamayati. And avasadayati, samsaram avasadayati. Three meanings, shadal vridhatu. Gati and avasadana and shthilikarna. All three meanings. So in all three meanings we use the word in the Upanishad. But what is it? What is the context here? That vakara goes. In chvi also what happens? Vakara goes. Chakara went. Chutu. E went because of anunasika it. Vakara went because of apriktaha vakara. What remains? Zero. What remains is zero. Still, now you have to remember two things here. When a chui follows, an a preceding that will become e. When a chui follows, an a preceding will become e. And any other vowel which is preceding will take dirgha. Any other vowel which is preceding will take dirgha. I'm not giving you sutras, okay? I'm just wanting you to remember this much. So what will happen now? Ashuklaha, shuklaha bhavati. Shukla plus chvi. What is ending? A. That A will become shukli. Therefore, you'll get shukli bhavati, shukli karoti. Okay? This is the word, meaning now. So similarly, now you take another word. Whatever word you take, what was not, it becomes that. You can use this pratyaya. Abhuta tadbhave chvi. The rule is abhuta, what was not, tadbhave, it becomes what it was not. A vikara it did not have, it gains. And only with three dhatus, bhu, as, and kr. So shukli karoti, shukli bhavati, shukli asti. Syat. Why not asti? Present days we won't say it generally. But shukli syat. Okay. So with that background, you look at it now. Ashukla, shukla, sampadana, see shuk. So he shows you all that. Shukla plus va, chakar se chutu, tasya lopaha. Then this is a sutra which gives you the e, asya chvau. So you'll get shukli plus va. Then what happened to va? Vehe apriktasya. It goes away. What will you get? Shukli. Okay? And it's an avyaya. All right? Shukli syat. Then with kribhu you can have ashukla shukla tam karoti. If you add this, you'll get what? Shukli karoti. Otherwise, bhavati asti will get. All right? Akumbha kumbha sampadyate. You know, he makes a pot. Clay was made into pot. What was not a pot is made into pot. Kumbhi karoti. Kumbhi bhavati. Kumbhi syat. All right? Aspashtaha spashtaha sampadyate. What was not clear becomes clear. He makes it clear. Spashti karoti. This you will find in the Bhashya or Tika. Tikakara will say Spashti karoti. Means he makes it clear. What was not clear, what was unclear is made clear. What was not far is made for. Dukkham duri karoti. Duri kurumama. You know, that Tandava, Samba Sadashiva, Shambho Shankara, that stotra, you know, Ravanakrita stotra. Duri kuru mama dushkriti bharam. Like that, you will get a sentence. Duri kuru means what? Duri kuru. What was not far, you make it far. Duri karoti. Okay. What was not dark? Krishni karoti. Okay. Khatwa means a cot. What was not a cot, maybe wood is made into a cot. Okay. Khatvi karoti. Apatuhu, not a very smart fellow. He becomes smart. Apatuhu, patuhu sampadyate, tam karoti. Patu karoti. Why patu karoti? I told you. Any vowel will take a dirgha. Why? One sutra. Chvaucha. So I don't remember sutra. What I remember now, one dirgha will happen. You will always find before chvi, dirgha will be there. How it happened, don't worry about it. It will be there. Except if it's akara and avyaya, then there's some exception to it. We don't worry about exceptions so far right now. See, asukhi, sukhi sampadyate. Sukhi karoti. Dukhi karoti, sukhi karoti. So like this, now he's giving an example of an avyaya. Adoshaha dosha sampadyate. There's an avyaya called dosha. Dosha means not defect. Dosha means night, ratri. It's an avyaya. Pradosha, that kind of dosha. So that when you take, then it won't take this E. You will get what? You will end up with dosha only. You will not get doshi karoti. Exception, we don't have to worry about it. Okay. So this is one more sutra. See, he's giving other examples. Shukli kriyate karmani prayoga. Or nijanta. Shukli karayati. Don't have to think it's only lat lakara. Any other lakara also you can use. Okay. And this word gets a gati sangya. And therefore, if you take it with a, with a krit pratyaya, a krit word, you can make a compound. Like what? Shukli karakaha, shukli bhutaha, etc. This would be a samasa. We don't have to worry about it too much. But understand this abhuta tadbhave chvi. Is this somewhat clear? Abhuta tadbhave chvi. Keep that sentence in view. What was not, it becomes or gains that. Then you have chvi pratyaya and a will become e and any vowel will become dirgha. Which much you remember, your chvi pratyaya is good enough for you. And it's an avyaya, so you don't have to worry about declining anymore. Okay? This is making sense? All right. We don't need that. We don't need that. Oh, sorry, I went the wrong way. That's why it's going all over the place. See, you know what? Why I said I went the wrong way? See, now this is 5450. If you want to know how the Kaumudi sequence is, you hit this way. It'll take you towards the next. So in Kaumudi, he will take you to the next sutra, which is making this, A becoming E. So it's a good way to quickly find it. But I am not interested in finding out the other sutras elsewhere. I am interested in what is happening with after Chui. So I should have clicked here, not here. Okay. So Ashtadhyayi will take you in sequence. So now, so he is saying in these cases, Arus, Manas, Chakshush, Chetas, Rahas, Rajas, all Sakaranta. In all these cases, what happens? When Chui follows, the last Varna is dropped. The last Varna is dropped. So what happens then? You see the effect of it. Manas. Unmanaha. Right? So now, anunmanaha, unmanaha sampadyate. Unmanaha is sad. So what should it become? Unmanasi. No. Sakara goes. Unmani. Sakara is dropped. Okay? So it will become, you can see that. Unmanas, tasya lopa, etc. Finally, what will you get? Unmani. That's all that we care for. So when you have sakaranta, looks like for some of them, that sakara will go. Chakshush will become what? Uchakshu. What would you have expected? Chakshush. See, if sakara is there is nothing to take dirgha. You will get only uchakshush only, nothing will happen. So to get that dirgha is first dropping sakara and then you will get the dirgha for the preceding fellow. Uchakshu, unmani. See that manas. Sakara, if it was there, manas would have remained manas. It became mani. How? Sakara went. Okay. Rahas is separation. Rahasi, being alone. So here it becomes what? Virahi bhavati. Virahi karoti. Separates. What was not separated is made separate. Rajas becomes viraji bhavati. Viraji karoti. That's the examples here. So you can see vicheti bhavati, virahi karoti, viraji bhavati. All these are examples of Chui. That E ending with bhu, kru, or as should give a hint, likely to be Chui. Now, vibhasha, sati, katsnye. Now, what is it saying? You have to keep in mind what is the number? 5452. Okay. 5452. 5452. See now, here, what is adhikara? Kru bhu asti. 5450 I'm looking at, okay? Kru bhu asti yoge sampadyakari chvihi. Okay?
So,
In what sense?
Swamiji is still saying browser.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why is it sitting there? Okay. I thought I hit share, so why should it show you browser? Okay. No. No?
Yes, so.
Okay. So I'm saying, you look at this. 5450 is Kru bhu asti yoge sampadyakari chvi. This is the sutra. This, what I told you, abhuta tadbhave, is a vartika there. It's not in the sutra. Therefore, sometimes what happens, you will try and find abhuta tadbhave, you won't find in sutra patha. You have to remember Kru bhu asti yoge. But this should always be kept in mind. Abhuta tadbhave. That meaning is essential. Abhuta tadbhave Kru bhu asti yoge sampadyakartari chvihi. This whole thing now you can see is going to where Chvihi is going up to 51. Sampadyakartari is going to 52. And this Kru, etc. up to Yoga is going to 57. So the entire sutra literally is going down, okay? Now, when you look at this, vibhasha means what? Optional. Optionally, instead of chui, a pratyaya sati can come. Optionally, chui, instead of chui, you can get a pratyaya sati. In what meaning? Same meaning as chui, but with an extra twist. What is the extra twist? Kartsnye. What does kartsnya mean? What does kartsnyam mean? Kritsnasya bhavaha. Kartsnyam. What is kritsna? Kritsna karma krit, not Krishna. Kritsna. Kr, takara, sakara, nakara. Kritsna. Are you able to hear it clearly? Kritsna karma krit means what? One who has completed all karmas. What does kritsna mean? Total, complete. Therefore, if a thing has completely become another, if a thing has completely become another, undergone a vikara, not part vikara, then you can use optionally the pratyaya sat. Sati. Sati. In that e goes. What remains? Sat. What's an example? Jnanagnihi sarvakarmani bhasmasat kuruterjuna. What does it tell you? Suppose you said Jnanagnihi sarvakarmani bhasmi kurute arjuna. What does it mean? It burns. What was not burnt, it burnt. But it may leave it a little unburnt. Ajnanam is not fully gone. Some of it is remaining around. Then what is the use for us? Therefore, sat means what now? Sati means what? Kritsne. But it is optional. Therefore, bhasmi karoti can mean completely burnt also. Can mean partly burnt also. Unburnt is burnt. How much we don't know. But when you add sati pratyaya, completely. Bhasmasat kurute. So when you know that meaning, when you see bhasmasat, you feel good. With what is avidya? You know, jnanagnihi sarva karmani, all your karmas, your kartritvam, bhasmasat kurute. Completely it burns out. Nothing will remain. That is the extra of sat. Bhasmi karoti, bhasmasat karoti. Okay. Let's go back to share. So now you can see भाषा साथी करने अभूतपूर्वस्य विकारस्य संपूर्ण रूपेण संपादनम क्रियते चेत विकारिवाच्यब्दात् what do you get? साति प्रत्ययः भवति. All right. So पक्षे च्वी प्रत्ययः अपि भवति. Both are possible. So now what? Shuklasat means what? No speck of brown anymore. Totally white. Anagnihi shastram kartsnyena agnihi sampadyate. The weapon which was different from fire becomes unanimous with fire. Agnisat karoti becomes completely fire. He gives an example. So what was, a water which had no salt becomes what? Totally salty. Lavani karoti or lavanasat should be there now. Abhasmaha asuraha bhasma sampadyate. What does he say for that? Bhasmasat bhavati bhasmasura. Okay. And this sati is also what? It is avyaya sangyaka, which means once you say bhasmasat, you don't have to decline. It is an avyaya. Okay. So he says, abhuta tadbhave kribhuvasti yoge sampadya kartari iti sarvam anuvartate. All these is coming down as anuvritti. Asmin vishaye vibhasha sati pratyaya bhavati. In this matter, there is an optional sati pratyaya. When Kartsnye gamyamane, when totality is being talked about completely. Yadi prakriti kritsnam vikartam apadyate ityartha. Okay, this is the meaning here. So then, अभूतपूर्व विकार से अभिविद्या संपदानं क्रियते इति कृभु इत्येषां साति प्रत्ययः. So the point is this now. There is one more meaning here. What is saying now? See, he is giving you an example. The entire salt from all the household city has become moist due to heavy rains. This is basically, what Abhividhi and Maryada I should remember now. Maryada means up to. Abhividhi means including the end point. Okay. So in that case also you can get this pratyaya. So this will be like you can see here. Let's read English, okay? The context here is that entire set of weapons was converted to fire. This means that every weapon in the set was definitely converted to fires, at least to some extent. Now you have two things, okay? Understand what's happening. There are many. So there are a lot of chairs in the hall, and the hall caught fire. Now all the chairs burnt, but not fully burnt. In that sense, also Sati Pratyaya can come. This is what makes me again unhappy. That, finally you don't know what Sati means. Unless you know the meaning, you can't really know. But when avidya is only one, I can know it's fully burnt. But if there were two avidyas, I would have a problem. Whether fully burnt or both are half burnt. You understand? So in that sense, also, you can have Sati Pratyaya. So all the weapons caught fire, but not fully burnt. Or all the weapons caught fire and all of them fully burnt. Both will give you Sati Pratyaya. Okay. So this is the Sati Pratyaya Vishaya. Okay. Then I think we have already moved to the next one now. Yeah. So let me go back to stop to. So we saw what is Abhuta Tadbhava up to 51, 52, and the Kribhu Asti Yoga is going to 57. We don't need to worry about it. These sutras I want you to know because this Chui and Sati is something which we see now and then. Okay. All right. All right. Then 5457. 5457. Sorry, one back. Okay. This sutra says Avyakta Anukaranat Dvyach Avarardhat Anitau Dach. Our main meaning is this much, okay? Avyakta Anukaranat. Rest of it we won't worry about. Avyakta Anukaranat Abhuta Tadbhave Kim Pratyaya Bhavati Dach Pratyaya Bhavati. You can see Avyakta Anukaranat. Okay? Vyach Avarardhat Anitau Kribhu Asti Yoge Dach Pratyaya Bhavati. So Avyakta, I told you about this. Avyakta means what? A sound that you cannot produce, okay? So you want to say how a peacock called. You can't make the peacock sound. Or you want to show how a crow calls. You try. You say ka ka, but it's not exactly how the crow says. Therefore, that is called avyakta anukarana. You're copying. You're trying to produce sound. A pot fell. A glass fell. What sound does it produce? Dun. Is it dun? Somebody else may say it pun. I don't know. Whatever you choose to say. That is avyakta shabda. See, when you say vadati, it will say vyaktayam vachi. Clearly discernible sound which you can produce. But when an animal or a thing falls, or animal makes a call, a bird makes a call, it is called kujanam. And kujanam, kuj will be what? if you go and look, very likely, kuj will have, let's go there because it's good to check what happens, okay? So now if I look for vad, sorry, it became chavad. What is vad? Dhatu. See this? Vyaktayam vachi. Right? Now I say kuj. What do you get? Avyakte shabde. Means what? To make to speak inarticulately. Okay? So suppose I said, let's try. Garj. It just says shabde. It didn't say more. But I'm saying you are likely to find more words which are avyakte shabde. All right? So when you are trying to imitate a sound, which is not a clear sound, then a pratyaya called dach comes. What will happen? That's what I want you to know. Dakara is it. Chutu goes away. What's the content? Ah. Okay. So then when you suppose you said the sound is pat, it fell, pat. Or you slapped the fellow. What happened? Sound is pat. Now you want to imitate the sound. Then you have to do what? It becomes pat. And then you add Dutch, you get pata. Pat, pat, first pat, when we want to add Dutch, patat, word this is patat. Patat plus you have to double the sound. Patat, patat. You have to make it patat, patat. Then this A will, when it comes, it will remove the takara at the end of the second one. So you'll get pata, pata. Pata, patat will become pata, pata. All that he will explain here, okay? So he says what? Phalasya patanasya dhvanihi, ghantayaha dhvanihi. All these are what? These are sounds which you cannot really produce. Okay? So he says, Jala bindunam patanasya dhanihi, dhamat, chamat. You create all these sounds, okay? So when you do, and it's all what? These sounds try to mimic an otherwise non-reproducible sound. That is called avyakta anukarana vachin. It is not clear, but you try to imitate that sound. You produce that sound. In the anticipation of this pratyaya, what happens? The prakriti undergoes dvitvam or doubling. Okay? So patat karoti will become what? Patat patat. Doubling. Then when you add dach, then what happens? It will cause some more changes and you will end up with what? You will get pata patat. Okay? And then it will become this takara. This takara will get replaced. This takara and a will get replaced by single a. You will get pata pata. So you get pata pata kriyate. Pata pata asti. So why do we need this? Only for the rare case like Panchadashi where you hear all these sounds, all these words. Okay? So dhu dhu karoti. No, you can have. How does the fire burn? Bhuga bhuga. How does water run? Chila chila. You have words, okay, like this. So for that, you need this pratyaya. Other than that, this pratyaya, except for anukarana of some shabda, we don't need this. That is called dach. So there are rules governing what will get doubled, how it will happen. But all those, if you see here, see the example. Dhamat, dhamat karoti, dhamadhama karoti, damat, damat karoti, damadama karoti, chamat, chamat karoti, chama, chama karoti. When you see these two sounds, you know it is avyakta anukarana. Okay? That much if you know, then we are good enough. So he says not only for common forms, also for sananta, etc. Patapata chikirshati, patapata bobhuyati, bobhuyati young. Use it for all cases here. Okay. So this much is what there are all some more taddhita usages. All right. What do you gain? Not a whole lot, but you gain some understanding of how taddhitas are. And next class, probably, I will try to show you a few more and then a summary. So you know, if you want to look at this section by yourself, what you can do. If you want to. I won't encourage you to go too far into it. But if you are curious, Sanskrit, you want to learn more, you want to enjoy, you're welcome to do it. I don't have enthusiasm to some extent. Sometimes I just enjoy looking. Mrittika, a nice word. It's taddhita, I didn't know that. It's good to know. But beyond that, can't remember all rules for derivation unless you want to remember all the time. Because memory is too, you need to use it for better purposes sometime. But if you have a lot of memory, use it. You can remember all that you can. I won't discourage you. But if you are already struggling with memory, don't try to remember these. It's quite all right to not worry about them. Okay? What should you remember? Shukli karoti, bhasmasat kurute, patapata karoti. These few words, now you understand. Devata, one pratyaya remember, tal. Devata, ashvakaha, ushrakaha, right? Ka can come in a lot of meanings. Alpa can come in meaning of alpa, can mean come in meaning of just swartha, same meaning, nothing difference. Like this, so many meanings are there. So if you know that much, then these pratyayas you have some handle over. You will see this tree, spashti karoti, or sometimes even you confuse the fellow. That also you can come. The Purva Pakshi is trying to make me who was unconfused confused. That can also come. So when you see this e, u, and kr, bhu, us, you think of abhuta tadbhava. Okay? So almost time. Let me see what's there after that. Abhuta tadbhava is over. Okay. Then there is one. Okay. There is one big section called samasantaha. What is samasantaha? So you will find starting 5468 till the end of 54, they are called samasantaha. Means these are only pratyayas that are added after a compound. But they are made taddhita. What is the use of making the taddhita? That bhasanya will come. For that, he makes it taddhita predominantly. Okay? So you will have, for certain tatpurusha compounds, you get samasanta pratyaya. For certain avyayi bhavas, you will have a samasanta pratyaya. One famous pratyaya is called touch. Avyayi bhava will get it. Touch means a. Adhyatman will become adhyatma. Nakara goes, should become adhyatma. Makara should be ending. No, it becomes adhyatma. How? One a gets added. Rajan will become raja. So like that, there are certain compounds where you add extra pratyaya. Those are called samasanta pratyaya. And within that, you will have different, what happens tatpurusha, what happens in other compounds. There are a lot of rules. If you want to know everything, one lifetime is not enough sometimes. But some of them are very common. So like I told you, this ka in Bahuri is common. So it's good to know, that if you find some compounds ending in ka, if you have a difficulty between Karmadhara and Bahurihi, you can know it's likely to be Bahurihi. Okay. So as I said, I think I don't want to spend too much more time on taddhita, but when I'm here, I want to finish this. I don't want to come back to taddhita. Therefore, I'm just pointing out some important usages to you. All right. So we will look at what we call these Lakshana Vakyas next time, more of them. And I will show you the overall way how Panini organizes taddhitas. Maybe it'll take 1 or 2 classes. And then we will see what to do after that. Whether to start with Karakas or Vibhaktis or Kridanta. We need Karakas also. We haven't done it in detail before. Might look at it a little. Okay. Any questions? Yes, Avinash.
Swamiji, 2 words I had one doubt, Swamiji. This Pratyagatma, it is coming from that unchair look. Swamiji.
The word is coming from, Pratyanj is coming from there. Just that word, not Atma. Pratyanj is inner.
And it is Samasa. It is a Samasa, Swamiji, the whole word there.
What is Samasa? I mean, Pratyagatma is Samasa, yes. Yeah. Pratyak is the word you will get, Taddhita word.
Yes. And sometimes we see these words, a kiyat, iyat, something like that, Swamiji.
How much? Kiyat is how much?
It is the Taddhita word, Swamiji.
I think it is. We can check that in a minute.
And Swamiji,
Kiyanta. You know, means, so if you say, how much is the price of this book? Kiyat mulyam. That's how you will ask. So give me 1 second. We will look at your question and solve it. Kiyat. So best way to do it is you just go into your Prishtam, go into Kosha and look for Kiyat.
So it was showing some Batup Pratyaya, Swamiji. That's why I got confused.
Let's see. See the sutra number. Kiyat. Kim parimanasya. Kim idam bhyam voghaha. Iti vatup. Right? So now you have to go and look. 5 to 140 is given to you. Now it's not hard. Right?
I knew it was Taddhita on this one.
5-2 means definite Taddhita. No question about it. Right? So you want to go check that. You just now go to Sutra Patha and we are in business. Sutra Patha 52140. No, what is 5 to 140? What was that?
It's 40, Swamiji. 5 to 40.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so now we can see what it says. Kimidam bhyam vaha shashti ekachanam gha pratyaya. So parimana ityasya visheshana rupena pratyuktau yau kim tatha. That's why parimana is quantity, how much. Kim iti idam shabdo tabhyam pratamasamarthabhyam asya ityasmin arthe vatu pratyaya bhavati. And then what? Vakarasya ghakaradesha bhavati. So what is vakarasya ghakaradesha? We'll have to look at this now. Kim plus what? Right? Kim parimanam asya. What is the measure of this? What is the cost? Measurements could be a cost, okay? So kim parimanam asya. What do we get? Kim vatup. Then what happens? Vat. Then this becomes gha. What is the use of making it gha? By this 712, you will become yat. Ayan, Eya, Ina, Iya, Iya. These are the replacement for what? Pa, Dha, Kha. There's a Dha missing here, okay? Pa, Dha, Kha, Pa, Dha, Gha, Kha, Cha, Gham. So then, that, in fact, this should have been Dha. Gha should have been Dha. So now what you will get? You will see that the Gha is what? The last one here, right? Pa, Dha, Kha, Cha, Gha, Cha, Gham. That Gha will become what? Iya. So you'll get what now? Ghat will become iyat. Are you with me? So you'll get kim plus iyat. Now what? Ki adesha bhavati. One extra adesha is happening. So kim became ki, right? And then ki plus yat, yes, yat becomes, you get kiyat. So a lot of things are happening here. If you want to derive the word, you have to know a lot of things. But what do you care for? Kiyat means what? How much? Yat means what? This much. So how will it decline? This is important. Once you know kiyat, kiyan, kiyantau, kiyantaha, kiyantam, kiyatau, kiyantau, kiyataha. That much you remember. Okay. Idam you take, what will you get? Yat. This is the measure. Answer is kiyan, yan. Answer will be yan. Kiyan will be yan. Okay. What else? Any other question you have?
These ending words is in the context of parimana. That's it. We have to remember.
Correct. We saw, na? Parimani. With kim and idam, only two. How much? This much.
And there's this kidrisha, idrisha, that is a kridanta word, Swamiji, right? Kidrisha.
Idrisha, idrisha will come from kridanta, yes. Yes. Yeah. That I think is Quinn, I think. Quinn pratyaya.
Upapada.
We're likely to be Quinn pratyaya. We'll look at it sometime probably. Okay. Idrik, idrik you will get from there. That's a different meaning. Anything else? Okay. So we will leave it here. I hope you are all not finding to be, as I said, it is not the same as in the beginning where every class would add a lot of impact. Because these classes are, I'm just finishing the taddhita right now, because I don't want to go back to it. So they are not high impact necessarily. That's why I run through several of them. But some words are very useful. So that's why I say, I normally tell you what you should remember in a class. If you remember that much, you are good. So disha words, good to know the form. And as I said, for that, my favorite is only Ganesh Atharva Shesha. Whatever words come there, if you remember, most of the pratyayas are covered. So you double it up. Prayer is prayer, plus you get some words. And that's your example for all these disha shabdas. Then you're done. Okay. All right, we'll stop.